Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here. I hope you're all doing well. In this video we're going to be looking at the SSD requirement for Starfield and asking, do you really need to install the game on an SSD to play it? First of all, this is the first game that I have ever known of that has made installing the game on an SSD a requirement rather than simply just a recommendation, which is what most games these days would recommend you do. The simple fact of the matter here is that Starfield's overall performance will likely suffer if you're attempting to run the game from a mechanical hard drive, due to the game's open world nature and the fact there will be a lot to render and assets will be consistently called for from the game files. It just makes more sense to install on an SSD rather than a mechanical drive. That's not to say you won't be able to install the game on a mechanical hard drive. I doubt there is any way that Bethesda can stop you doing so, and if there was, I doubt they would prevent you from doing so, but you may be given some sort of warning that performance in your game may suffer if you do indeed try to install the game on a mechanical drive. Now I know I will be in the minority here when I say I still have a few mechanical drives in my setup. These are used purely for storage of mainly YouTube related stuff such as captured gameplay and old rendered videos, etc. I may, just for the hell of it though, install the game on a mechanical drive on the 1st of September when it releases, just to see what actually happens if anything, although I really don't want to ruin my first experience of the game, so I'll have a good think about doing that beforehand. Now SSDs and M.2s and NVMEs have been around for a long time and are pretty much commonplace in most people's setups these days, but there will still be some out there that don't have these in your system. And if you're one of those people but want to upgrade to a solid state drive of some sort, then price wise you're certainly in luck. Now of course, before doing so you're going to need to check you have the necessary connectors on your setup. Most motherboards made within the last 5 years do have at least one if not two M.2 ports, but it's really a good idea to check with your respective make and model just to be sure. If you're not sure what make and model you have, or you're just feeling lazy like me and don't want to open up your case to find out, you can use CPU-Z, which is a little app which will show all sorts of important information on your setup. It will give you the motherboard make and model, and then you can just pop over to their website, and generally using the support tab you can search your model and then download the manual to see what kind of connections and ports are available on your motherboard. I'll put a link in the description below to the CPU-Z app if you want to go check that out and use it. Once you know what you have, you can then have a look at retailers to see what they have on offer, and right now SSD prices have never been so low. Here in the UK for instance, 1TB M.2 drives are going for around £40 and 2TB drives could be had for as little as £70. Roll back 3 years ago when I paid way over £100 for a 500GB M.2 drive, and that gives you an idea of how prices have tumbled in recent years, so now is one of the best times to upgrade if you haven't already done so. Now some people will say that other open world games work fine on mechanical drives, and yes, that is the case, but the wording Bethesda used saying it's a requirement is a strong way to put things, and this does make me think they really are messing about when it comes to having you get the best experience out of this game. It would be interesting to see just what difference it makes being installed on a mechanical drive versus an SSD. As you know, someone out there is going to test this just to see if this really was an actual requirement for the game, and of course some people will be holding off on upgrading until they've seen what the difference is. If that information becomes available after release, I will of course do a quick video with any results that have been published. Until then, let me know down below what you think of this being a requirement rather than simply a recommendation. Do you think this could become the norm going forward for games, or do you think maybe just a little bit far-fetched from Bethesda and it's simply them being extremely cautious? As always, let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.